Hey guys, Wise Gamer here, bringing you another indie game review. This time we're looking at Are The Dwarves, a game by Whale Rock Games out of Ukraine actually. This game's a single-player, real-time strategy type game where it's really intense and really difficult. You'll see multiple times throughout the video here, I died so many times, I have so many hours in this game, and I continue to die over and over again, but that being said, it's still pretty fun and kind of addicting in a way too. It's got a really unique story, really unique setting, and with that being said, let's go and hop right into it. So gameplay wise, single player game, you control 3 different dwarves. In the gameplay you see, I'm actually still in the very beginning when I recorded this portion of it, so I was playing as 2 different types of dwarves, but there's 3 different ones total. They all have their own set of skills, like there's Smasher, that's like a melee combat guy, he can stun people, do crowd control. There's a ranged dwarf that has kind of like a shotgun type thing that does different bursts, and another dwarf as well. As you play through, you have kind of like an active pause mode, and what they say by active pause is it kind of slows down gameplay to an extremely slow crawl, so you can kind of aim easier, you can stack up commands and stuff like that. Control all 3 of your characters and that type of thing, but the gameplay still plays while you're in pause, so it gives you time to think, but not, just endless time where you can just pause and do whatever you want from there. The game's pretty brutal, so they really want you to try to use as much stealth tactics and just tactics in general as possible. The enemies can see you, they can hear you, they have sense of sound, or sense of touch I should say, so if you're like hiding in a bush and they can like brush up against you, that type of thing too. So as you like walk up close to them, they can actually like hear your footsteps coming up and they might get alerted. I found that really difficult to get used to actually, and they can do that. They can see you of course too, and they actually will like seem to communicate with their other AI in the area and will tell them, hey, there's a guy here, and they like all come and attack you. They can even smell you too, which is pretty crazy. So it pretty much means that even though they want you to do stealth, you have to be extremely creative with how you approach a situation. I died multiple times just in like the tutorial starting area for the very first character because I was facing a couple guys and you start with really low health and I just died so quickly. So that being said, again, the game is pretty punishing, but it's still a lot of fun, and as you kind of get the strategies down and the different commands down, pretty much constantly using active pause when you're in combat in any way, shape, or form, you kind of get a better idea of what you need to do. Now, as you play through the game, you'll kind of figure out what the story is. So you're a couple dwarves that are at the edge of extinction. Dwarves are pretty much just like a race that's been forgotten almost. Stars that pretty much inhabit, or I should say there's like these caves that everyone inhabits that stars kind of like keep light, and stars have been dying off, I guess mystically going out over and over again. So you have Forcer, Smashfish, and Shadow, the 3 dwarves that are left. They're survivors of a drilling ship that basically like kind of exploded, had some type of issue happen, and they all kind of crashed on different parts of the universe here. So that's kind of like as you're going out and you're doing these different missions, you're trying to get the dwarves back together, and then you'll have all 3 of the full team to be able to go out and play. Visually, the game's beautiful. I mean, as far as like the roots of the different structures, you get to see this cave network, the swampy areas, stuff like that. The enemies are all great. The characters are really well detailed in the cutscenes. I really enjoyed the artwork. It is a little bit dark, but you can just bump up gamma or something like that if you need to. It's not too big of a deal, and it really just looks well overall. Audio-wise, it's pretty good too. So there's just kind of like an ambient music type thing going on the entire time, but all the attack sounds sound pretty good. You can tell like the special attacks that you use, like the gun sounds, things like that too, and it kind of helps you play the game and kind of get into the mood of it. Replayability wise, I say it's pretty high if you enjoy those really high learning curve games that again are really brutal and unforgiving in a way. It's still a lot of fun to go through. There's a couple levels that are going to be unlocked later I haven't been able to get into yet or anything, but as you go through the story, I can see myself coming back and trying to play multiple times, going through the progression skill tree and everything, and kind of unlocking new abilities to play it a little bit different each time. That being said, it was very difficult, and that's definitely a drawback I think as well. The game's coming out on Steam today, on Friday here, and really it's just such a difficult game. You might want to check out some gameplays first, see how they react to it as well before you make the purchase. If it's something that you enjoy, if you kind of like the real-time strategy where it's very fast-paced, outside of the pause I should say, and very difficult and brutal, then you might enjoy it. It's just very, like I said, unforgiving, and you can't make any mistakes really at all, and especially in those beginning areas where you don't have any health. So that being said, guys, I'll have all the links down below like always. Make sure you check out the last video as well. Hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.